Welcome to the GymnasticsVille Podcast, the show where we go deep inside the world of gymnastics with athletes, coaches, and personalities who lived it at the highest level. I'm your host, Mubarak Simmons, founder of Gymnasticsville. Joining me is my co-host and brother, Taqiy. He's the co-founder of Gym Crew Talent Management, an NCAA all-around champion, and a three-time NCAA Assistant Coach of the Year from the University of Oklahoma. Taqiy, bro, it's great to have you on again, my man.
It's always a pleasure. I am super excited about today. This is going to be one of our best podcasts. I'm super stoked.
And so let's get right into it, okay? Tonight's guest is someone truly one of a kind in the world of gymnastics. She is an elite gymnast with dual American and Italian citizenship who competed in Italy's top professional league. She was a 2021 Italian national bars champion. She starred in MTV's Italy's reality series about the lives of elite gymnasts. She is an ambassador of abuse prevention for the Italian Gymnastics Federation, and she is also an author of multiple books, including her memoir, Flipped, Keeping My Balance Behind Borders. She has built one of the most engaged gymnastics communities in the world with nearly 1 million followers on both Instagram and YouTube. And she just launched her signature Fire From Within leotard collection. And this summer, she is taking her Fire From Within tour across United States, Mexico, and Canada. Let's let that sink in for a little bit. So please welcome to the GymnasticsVille Podcast, Sophia Campana.
Thank you guys so much. What an intro. Thank you very much. I'm so honored. Thank you.
Yeah, we are so happy to have you on the show. We have a lot to talk about today, but the first thing I want to get into is something that you are starting very, very soon, is the Fire Within Experience Tour. So I just would you like for you to talk about it. You know, what is it? What happens at these events, and who is it for?
Yeah, thank you. So we're going to kick off the summer with the Fire Within Experience Tour starting in Mexico. Gonna go, all around the US, up to Canada, Toronto. I am so excited to meet kids of all ages. Even adults are gonna actually be joining. I've gotten some messages from adult gymnasts who are gonna come in, and I love that because what I am bringing to these events is something that is important for young children as well as adult gymnasts. And that is fun, that is empowerment, that is facing fears, that is celebrating what we love so much, gymnastics, and sharing our passion together. And I've decided to do something different than a typical gymnastics camp because although I've always been drawn to coaching and working with gymnasts, camps were never really my vibe, and neither were even just like a classic clinic.
Yeah.
I wanted to bring more of what I bring to my YouTube channel, which is kind of crazy, kind of wacky, kind of wild, the joy, the fun, the spirit of gymnastics and gymnasts. And we're very, I would say, wild creatures doing our flips and our, getting out there. And as a singular sport, it's not, it's just you on the balance beam, meaning, yes, of course there are team meets too, but when you perform, it's you and the beam and the spotlight, and there's a lot of pressure on that. So how do we autonomously empower, and especially in moments where maybe we're needing a nudge in the positive direction to find our fire, right, and perform? How do we come through a fear that makes us feel like we're so blocked? How do we remember to keep the reason we started gymnastics still in the present as we train at the highest level of gymnastics? And those are some of the values and messages I want to bring. We're going to have so much fun.
Yeah.
We're just going to have so much fun. I can't wait. I can't wait.
No, this seems like a lot of fun. It seems like a camp that I'd like to coach at, because I do understand what you mean. Some camps are just so structured about improvement. How can we do something to help you improve? And this sounds more about like, why do we start gymnastics? We like flipping, right? That's the nature of why gymnasts get into it. We just flip around the house. Our parents are like, "You're beating up our furniture." You know what I mean? Let's do this in a safe environment where people know what to do. So this definitely sounds like one of those camps that's geared towards, like you said, getting outside your comfort zone, trying some new stuff, and then really just, at the spirit of gymnastics, which is fun. So this sounds awesome.
Thank you. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Fun, the play.
The play aspect. Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah, and so can you just talk a little bit more about? So now you seem like you're hitting 3 countries. Can you talk about just how those more how you developed it from like the beginning to where you are now with it?
Sure. Yeah. Great question. So I actually have been doing a similar format in Italy for a long time, actually, since 2017. So,
Okay.
yeah, from 2017 up until last year, I would do tours across Italy, and that's because most of my falling was in Italy, and I was living there for competition as well. So my tours were there, and I had always wanted to expand outside of Italy. A part of me actually doubted myself because I thought, well, like this is the ironic part is like, and the paradoxical piece is, I thought, well, nobody, does like what I do. Like, people want like seriousness. They want learning elite perfect gymnastics.
Yeah.
And then I came to realize, wait, like that's why this is like so fun and exciting is because it's nobody's doing it.
Yeah.
It's different and it brings like for me, I feel very fulfilled contributing to gymnastics and bringing this because that's what it is for me. So I feel like I'm giving um, an authentic version of who I want to be as a leader in the sport.
Yeah. Yeah,
With this format.
it's definitely it's something needed. You know what I mean? Gymnastics from the outside is always viewed as such a serious sport. There is that aspect of play that I think most people don't understand, that gymnasts actually do have a good time in the gym. Not all gymnasts are trying to make it to the Olympics. There's a mass majority of gymnasts that are out there purely for the love of the sport and are in it for fun. So I do think what you're like you said, what you are bringing is something that the gymnastics world definitely needs.
I love that. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, no, I think it's important as well because at least when I'm around gymnastics a lot, I think the goals of being great or going to the Olympics or going to college, I think sometimes that can be overwhelming, and I think a lot of gymnasts lose sight on you got to have fun. And believe it or not, when you're having more fun, when you're enjoying what you're doing, that's how you can kind of have improvement and kind of lower that day-to-day stress of the sport when you have such high aspirations.
Yeah, I 100% agree. From personal experience and also from a scientific point of view, I am really interested in neuromuscular
Yeah.
connection and how our actual muscle power increases when we're in a higher level frequency emotionally.
Yep.
And so as you move from a place of, you know, um, frustration or even anger up to courage and joy, which is very, very high. It's just like you get insane
Yep.
increase in muscle power as well.
No, it's very true. It's very true. I always say, I tell the girls I coach all the time, it's like, you know, it's gymnastics is going to be way easier for yourself if you understand that the joy that you take into it is going to produce a better outcome. You know what I mean? It's like your goals, you should be having fun to strive for them, but overall, have a good time doing what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like, it's just too hard of a sport on a day-to-day basis to walk into it and not enjoy what you're doing. like high level gymnastics, 20, 25, 30 hours a week. That's a full, that's a almost full-time job for athletes at such a young age. And to have that commitment to coming in, it's great. I tell them all the time, I'm happy you guys keep showing up. Keep showing up. That's great. But make sure you're having a good time all the time. And like you said, the power that you have behind when you're having a good time is just so much higher than when you're stressed and nervous. You know what I mean? Those nerves really just zap your energy, zap your momentum, zap your mental focus. And that clarity that you have when you're excited about something, it's just dramatically better.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. That's so awesome that you're teaching your kids that and helping them understand it on a day-to-day basis. I think that's so powerful.
Sophia, do you want to talk a little bit about, your Powerful Mind program, mental strength, any keys to helping, a gymnast have a stronger mind mentally?
Yeah, sure. So the first thing that comes to mind is probably a lot of the exercises we do in my mentorship program. It's a Groupon school, so we meet every other Sunday and we do activities. And a lot of these activities that we do are to train ourselves to, like I said before, autonomously empower. And what that means is learning how to bring yourself up, whether it's a normal day or especially if it's a hard day, instead of feeling codependent of a coach doing it for you. A lot of the gymnasts that I've noticed in my experience, and I'm continuously learning, as I meet young gymnasts, is a lot of the times there's this desire for applause or approval from coach. And while of course that's, I think, a natural piece of sports and growing up, I know I still feel like that sometimes. I'm like, did you see that one? It's really important that we learn to do that for ourselves too. And something we practice is like every day, what were your 1% improvements, right? So like a lot of times, like, oh, I did this, but I'm still not there yet. And so then we come to this headspace of like, I'm just not good enough. And that space of like eager and strain and lack is really not empowering. It's the opposite of where we want to be. So we do a lot of activities to bring us in a place of power, which is like, oh, I did this today. I did this. I still have this goal, but I'm also very proud of myself for this, this, and this. And they start to get excited because they're realizing, hey, I am getting better. I am good at this. I'm so proud of myself. I was strong today. I'm believing in myself. When you start to see your small improvements, you start having this like backlog of like reasons to why you should believe in yourself, right?
Yeah.
So it's been really cool to see girls, even like after one call, to see them like come into this new, like you can just see it on them. They're all of a sudden they're like, they're feeling good. And the way they're talking is more confident. And it's really beautiful to see the development from just simple exercises that train our mind.
Yeah. Dude, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's literally hilarious because again, you're saying so many things that I like as I've been trying to get across to my athletes more and more about that micro goals, not macro approach all the time. You know what I mean? It's like if you're thinking about your big goals on an everyday basis, then you're going to feel like what you're doing is not enough and you're not accomplishing it. So it's about those small goals. What's your small goal that you know you can most likely accomplish today? What's that one thing? Whether it's having better arm positions on beam, whether it was pointing your toes a little bit better in your chasse between your leaps. Like, what is that one thing? Because if you do this a little bit every single day, just that little bit, then those small things are going to show up, and then you'll notice that you are improving day to day. And sometimes it's not even. I tell the girls sometimes it's not even about those physical goals. What if it was how you recovered from your irritation from a fall? Did you get less irritated? Are you doing those type of things to really like, those little things go such a long way. And then for you to literally be doing this on everyday basis and working with young athletes, it's just great to hear because it is such a hard sport, such a hard sport. So to get those positive reinforcements from someone like yourself who has been through it all and has accomplished so much and is out there so much, it's just such a refreshing thing to hear.
Thank you. Yeah, it's definitely helped me too, even, um, sometimes after I do activity, I'm like, oh, I'm feeling better too. So we all need it.
Yeah, exactly. We all need it in life. Life, we need to pay attention
Yeah,
to those small things a little bit more, probably.
yeah, yeah. I agree. I agree.
And so, as we're talking about just the mental aspect of it, this is a question a few of the girls from the team, wanted me to ask you, Sophia, was if you don't mind kind of breaking down, because you were obviously a really, really good gymnast. Like, what's kind of like your mentor approach to each event? Is there like a keyword for you? Is there something that you think about that kind of help you get locked into a certain event, either during practice or during competition? If you don't mind kind of breaking that down a little bit.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, on each event, I have something different on each event actually. On bars, I like to think about just playing. Like I literally, before national championships in Italy, I was really, really nervous. And I had a coach tell me the night before, well, he asked me, he said, Soph, he's like, why did you start gymnastics? Right. And I said, because it was fun. And he was like, well, okay, go out there and have some fun then. And it's like, it's like such cliche advice, but
Yeah.
truly when I thought to myself after I saluted, I said, okay, let's play. Let's play. And just the thought of like flying through the air, doing my releases and bars is so fun. So that really helps me on bars. It's just think about playing because it's just fun. I feel like a monkey and it's fun. And then on beam, I actually say a joke that between my sister and I, and it's kind of it's probably inappropriate to say on the podcast, but it's something that makes me laugh and breaks me
Okay,
out
got it.
of my seriousness. Okay. And I specifically remind myself of that because I get way too serious on beam. And
Interesting.
so I like intentionally like crack myself out of the seriousness and just get into like a funny space. And then I'm like, okay.
That's awesome.
Floor and vault. I guess floor, I just think express. I like to say expression over perfection. And I, especially on floor when it comes to dance, when I'm feeling like I'm just giving and expressing rather than trying to make everything perfect, my floor routine's way better. Vault, honestly, I can't think of what I say, Mo. I remember last time, like, I remember I had taken some time away from comp and then went back into it. And I don't know if you guys can relate, but like, once you come back into it after some time off, you're like, oh my gosh, holy crap, can I still do this? I remember looking down the vault runway thinking, like, am I gonna like trip running down this vault runway? There's like a door, like an exit sign. I was like, I could so easily just leave. Like, I don't have to do this. I can just leave right now.
Oh, man.
That's so crazy. I'm not sure if I should share this, but I will because it's going to just show you how much I'm out of it. And Taqiy, on that regard, Sophia, we had a meet. I was competing. I was last up on floor. It's definitely my worst event. Okay, just so y'all know. I mean, I'm an okay tumbler, but it was my worst event. I'm at the Woga Invite International meet. I was feeling really insecure because floor is not my event, and I'm last up. And I got in my head, and I started off my first pass, and was thinking too much about whatever, messed up my steps. I kept on running almost to like the very last third of the floor.
No.
And tried to do two passes in a small section of the floor
No.
landed on my head, and I swear to you, I just wanted to leave. I mean,
Yeah.
after that, I blacked out.
Oh.
Taqiy was there. He's laughing
Oh,
because
it was
you can maybe talk
oh, it
about
was
it from
hilarious.
from
Well,
a
you know,
spectator
you're
point of
watching
view.
him run, and then you're watching where the punch should happen, where he starts, and then he stops and starts taking another 3 steps. It's like, oh no, he has no space on the floor, and he literally does this front full, and he's landed the front full literally with maybe a foot to the corner, and then just punch front and completely domes it, bounces on his back, and you just see his head down, and he's just shaking his head just a little bit. And then the rest of the routine.
I wanted to go home, Sophia. I wanted to go right to the exit. Yeah, it was horrible, I'm sure.
Oh my gosh. I feel like I wanted to leave. I have to say, I think that there's a lot of insane talent to, in the moment, alternate, like, or alter how you did
Yeah.
your public pass to fit the space. You figure it out mid-air.
So
You're
kind.
being so kind.
So kind. So kind. Oh man, that was such a. I'm surprised you told this story because this was like I know
I
obviously as
know.
brothers we know most of each other's embarrassing gymnastics moments, and this was the top for him. I know this for sure. So that's hilarious. Oh man.
This is top 3 easily. Easily.
That's such a good story. Honestly, I think it's probably like warming, like for me, comforting, and probably for a lot of gymnasts watching the channel to be like, all right, stuff happens. It meets like we're all just humans trying to be like perfect out there, and we're humans at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly. But it just seems like from how you're explaining your mindset for the events, it seems like us all geared towards just letting the mind go, relax, keeping that kind of that childlike mindset, right, to help you perform in those stressful moments.
Yeah. For me, that works. And something that I've learned also as a mentor is sometimes that doesn't work for young girls. I actually had an old teammate, and she liked to get really angry. And she had this story about she used to be bullied in elementary school, and it would make her so angry. And she would think about that before doing her routines, because that was what would give her more fuel. She would
Interesting.
get so yeah, that's what works for me. But also, it's really interesting to explore
For you.
what works for you. Yeah, and that's kind of my goal as a mentor is to not just say, hey, works, this is the way, but let's explore together how your fire gets ignited. Sometimes it's singing, sometimes it's just breathing. We do a lot of breath work too. We learn different sequences to calm the nervous system, and a lot of the gymnasts, one loves breath work, and she was like falling, and before her state meet, and she was like fallen like 3 times, and she was totally in panic mode, right? And so she used the breathing sequence that that I teach, and she was able to totally calm her nervous system and did a great routine on beam. And so she does better. She thrives in calm, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's really cool how people work better differently.
No, I tell people this all the time. I used to read Green Eggs and Ham before every competition, and I did this all the way up until I was in my 20s, until I was almost done gymnastics. Because for me, I wanted to get into that child mindset, just relax. And those, Dr. Seuss books has those beautiful rhythmic tones to it. So it calmed me down, put me in a good place. And it'd be the weirdest thing, guy in his 18, 19s, 20s, put out this bright orange book, reading Green Eggs and Ham. You know what I mean? Doing this kind of Olympic trials, just right before the competition, just sitting down, Green Eggs and Ham. Everyone's like looking at me like, yo, you have no idea how good Sam I Am is.
That's so cute.
So I know.
Oh my gosh,
that's what worked
I
for
think
me.
that's adorable.
You know what I mean? So it's awesome.
Wow. Thanks for sharing. That's so cute. I love that.
It's like I said, the mind is weird. The mind is weird. So the more you learn about yourself, and like you said, what works for one person doesn't work for the other. So in this process, I'm assuming you're just learning so much about what works for other people, and you're just growing with every single person you're working with.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Yeah, I'm growing too as we
Yeah.
explore what works for them together. Um, and it's cool because now I feel like I have even more techniques and tools to
Yeah.
offer
It's awesome.
gymnasts who join the program.
Nice. And on that, who can kind of join that mentorship program? How does that work? Do they have to be kind of local? Do you do any type of like virtual sessions, or can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. Thanks. I'm about to open a one-on-one program. Right now, I just do group calls, but I am about to open a one-on-one program because I've had a lot of requests for that, so that we can dive deeper specifically into whatever that specific gymnast is working on and have just more attention devoted to it. Um, Otherwise, anyone, I mean, we have ages 8 to 18 in the group right now, and anyone can join through it can find on my website, sophiacampana.com, the link to
Okay.
school. Um, it's the school, the
Yeah.
SKOL school
Yeah.
pharmacy.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all through
Right.
that platform. So they can join there.
Awesome.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I'd like to get into a little bit more of your journey because I think it's remarkable. I think if people don't know, you trained in Colorado, ended up in Italy. Can you kind of just talk about that, right? I mean, junior career, then Italy. What was that like?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so when I was 10, Geza Pozar was my choreographer. He is very worldwide famous, renowned choreographer. Did Nadia Comaneci's, Florentines, Kimson Mescal, Dominique Macianu. He worked with the Karoulis all through from when they moved to Romania, defected, went to the States, and grew the American national team up to its consecutive wins. And yeah, he was choreographing our routines in Colorado at the time. And because of his knowledge of traveling from country to country, he knew that by gaining a secondary citizenship, you can compete for another country. And as a 10-year-old, I had no idea that was even a thing. And the idea of competing for my grandparents' country was super just honorable for me. It felt so cool to be able to represent Italy. And I was super passionate about Italy growing up. I was trying to research projects and understand my roots and my grandparents. And so that was already a huge honor to combine my big passion, gymnastics, with another big passion, right?
Yeah.
um, and then on top of that, I certainly at the time had more opportunity as an elite gymnast as well. And also, it was just an adventure that got me excited. I'm not sure why, but I was never really geared toward the college route. That was for me not ever something that I was like, oh, I really want to do that. And I was more like, I just felt it in my heart. I say my fire, you could say intuition, you know. I was like, I want to go to abroad. I want to go do this experience and adventure abroad. So he told me that that was a possibility. And 5 years later, with my Italian gymnast at hotmail.com email, I wrote an email to the Italian Olympic director at the time. I was like, hi,
Wow.
my name is Sophia. Can I come try out for the national team?
Wow.
And he was like, sure. He goes, come on over this
That's awesome.
summer. And yeah, looking back, I couldn't believe it. But yeah, he had me fly out, and I lived in Italy for 3 months. My parents initially went with just to make sure, you know,
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
want to
you're
check out the
okay.
scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another country.
Yeah, I spoke no Italian. It was my first time traveling alone. And well, on the way back, but there they went with me and they, scoped it out. And then once they were like, okay, it's very safe, we actually lived in a hotel. There was a hotel built for the national team at that time.
Cool.
So we actually all lived in a hotel and just walked to the gym every day. And it was so fun. It was kind of like boarding school in a way. Um, And I lived there for 3 months, did not make any team. I was so not ready. Um, I had done 5 years of level 10 and then curved into elite and was missing a lot of requirements as the code changes quite a bit from the level 10 route to the elite route. And came home, was really upset, but I felt my fire. I use that word and probably overuse it, but that's the best way I feel like I can express the feeling, the emotion I had in me was like this fire in my tummy saying, this is what I'm doing. This is what I want to do. I did not really care about, it's not that I didn't like, it's not that I didn't care about school. I just, my heart was not there in college gym. And my heart was very much diehard into doing this new adventure for me. It felt unique. It felt kind of scary. It just felt like it was like
Uncharted territory, right?
Yeah. Yeah, uncharted territory. It felt like just an adventure, I think, and it felt true to me. So I was so deeply devoted, and I ended up graduating a year early from high school by doing summer school courses, classes online, so that I could devote that whole last year just to elite training. And I emailed, sending my updates, my new wins, blah, blah, blah. I had won US nationals in level 10 on beam. And I was like, hey, this is an accomplishment. This happened. I got this new combo. And I was still not getting an invite to try out again. 3 years later, finally got the okay. And it was my last email. I said, this is the last one. I'm going to send one more. If not, I'm going to move on with my life. And I remember thinking, like, even if it's just to go back and try out for the summer, show them what I've learned, how much I've improved. I had improved so much in 3 years, and in a way of saying thank you for this opportunity. Even like if that means closure, and thank you for showing me something that made me feel so much passion and this deep grit inside of me I was able to find thanks to having this this dream in my heart, in my head. Just go back and have closure with it. And I went in with that mindset, had actually committed to University of Arizona for gymnastics simultaneously because I didn't know, if I was going to be able to make any team. And 10 days before leaving, the coach of it was the best Serie 1 team at the time, pulled me aside as Sophia, we have spot for you 2015 team. Would you like to compete? That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, and when she said that, it was crazy because at this point it had been a 10-year dream chase, really. Almost, yeah. So it was a weird moment. It was one of those surreal moments that I thought, I can't believe this is the now. This is happening right now. This is all of that daydreaming and visualizing and sweat and literal blood and tears. As you guys know, as gymnasts, this is my moment. Oh my gosh, it's here. It's not in my head and my visions anymore. It's here. Like, and at the same time, it felt so right. I was like, yeah, I'm ready to compete. I'm so ready. I'm so ready to compete. It felt so right. And yeah, ended up competing for on and off, like not consecutively, but for about 9 years. Wow. I think, yeah. And was also at the time being filmed for MTV Italia. And there was a reality show, as you mentioned, Mo, following us in the gym. They would film us from the moment we woke up to the moment we went to bed to the discotecas. It was so much fun. And,
oh my gosh.
So was competing and also like all of a sudden becoming very famous, and everywhere we went, the gymnast, Sophia. And I had a very big life switch in a short amount of time. It was a very huge year and also very, very challenging in the gym because I was in a completely different gymnastics environment that we can maybe get into, when it comes to just coaching wise. And
Yeah.
so when the title of my book flipped, Keeping My Balance Beyond Borders, refers to not only keep my balance on the beam, but my psychological balance, because there was a lot happening.
Yeah. Sounds like it. Wow.
That's a
That's pretty
wow.
remarkable.
No.
Like
That's just it's a lot. That's a lot happening in life in a short period of time, and with such a massive adjustment. You know what I mean? Like, obviously you spent those 3 months there, but then to go back and you're living your dream, and then also when you're living your dream, it's so great, but then you have to dial it back to reality that, it's not just good enough that I got here. You also get there now and you want to be successful, and you want to feel like you earned and deserve your right to be there. And then you have the reality show. That must have just been just intense in such a short period of time. Wow.
Yeah. I love that you said that. And something that I've also realized is, growing up, I used to have this like idea that when I get to elite, gymnastics will be easy because
Yeah.
I'll be really good at it,
Yeah.
right? It'll be easier once I get to elite, once I get that good. And little did I know, getting to elite was the beginning of the hardest, 100 times harder than all the years combined.
It's like, congratulations, you earned the right to keep softly suffering through
Yeah.
gymnastics. Congratulations.
Yeah. Congrats. Exactly. Welcome to the torture chamber.
But seriously, it's fun though. Everyone, it is fun. It is fun. It's a lot of
Yeah.
work. A lot of work. We're all saying yes. It is.
Yeah.
It's the beauty of elite level sport. It's fun, but also really, really, really hard.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a perfect way to describe it.
So, Sophia, can you and in that, because I'm just trying to get understanding of just like the culture and how the Italian national team works. What is like a Serie A team, or like what are those levels? If you don't mind explaining a little
Yeah,
bit.
sure. So it's all based on the elite code, the FIG code.
Okay.
And then they have different clubs around Italy, and the top teams compete against each other. So they don't
Okay.
have levels, it's all only elite. So it's kind of like I don't want to compare it to level 10 code wise, but if there was like a level 10 like national championships where it was team against team, it's
Awesome.
kind of like
Hmm.
that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And then there's A1, A2, and then there's
Okay.
Series B, um,
Oh, okay.
Series C, D. And so A1 is the highest tier. Um, so you're going against we had a lot of national team gymnasts on our team, and you know the national team gymnasts were within this
Is this the
cycle as
primary
well.
way that
Okay.
most of their Italian gymnasts, elite level gymnasts, compete? So they have more of these competitions, more than like I said, in America you have classics and those type of competitions. So is this like where most of their gymnasts get those? With their competition season within this series? Yeah. Okay.
Also,
Yeah.
yes. Yes. So there's also another season just for
Yeah.
individual awards. So they have it split like we'll do in America meets where you get awarded for team and
Yeah.
also individual. But
Hmm.
there it's totally different. So like in the fall, it'll be just individual meets and
Okay.
there are
Yeah.
no team awards. And then Serie A, there are no individual awards. It's
Okay.
only team.
Awesome. That's awesome. Again, for the longest time I didn't know that they had this, and these are the things that I think from the outside in America we just don't even know this. You know what I mean? Like we don't know how other countries compete,
Yeah.
especially at the highest level. So this is just great info.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is interesting. I was so confused when I first went there. I didn't even speak Italian. I was just like, I just want to do a meet. Just put me in.
Just let me raise my hand, say I've competed, I've done
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the feel like, right? What's the feel like doing gymnastics in Italy versus America. I just know based on some experiences, I actually kind of went to Worlds a few years ago to watch you, I think in Antwerp, and the energy was great, right? And then in some countries, the men's gymnastics is a little bit more fanfare than the women's. Like, what's that feel like in Italy?
Yeah. Okay, so um, I'm just going to share my story. I don't want to generalize, but I will
Okay,
share
okay.
my experience.
Yeah,
So in my experience, the environment was very, very, very serious. At many points in time, it was very cross the line as well. And at the time, we thought that was normal. This is just what you do to become a champion, I guess. My coaches were very strict on weight and weight loss. So something like that they would have us do is weigh in 4 times a day. We would weigh in as soon as we got to the gym after practice to see how much sweat weight we lost. We would all go to lunch together and they would like watch us eat. And then we would go to the gym and weigh again to see how much weight we gained from eating lunch. And then we would weigh again after practice. And then we had a scale at home, so us girls got crazy and we would be weighing after dinner in the middle of the night. You had to pee, you just weigh yourself, and then it was crazy on weight. And that was one of the harder aspects for me and during my time there. A lot of um, raising your voice. And at first I just thought, like, I am in an Italian family and we joke all the time, like it's very loud in the house. We're like, oh, we're Italian, so we're just loud. And
yeah,
like it's like this obnoxious like raising your voice. But so initially I kind of I almost want to say like gave leeway to that because I just didn't know, like, is this just the culture, and like who am I to come into a new culture and judge it. I just knew that it didn't work for me because with like a lot of the screaming and like a lot of times, they would use the insults to motivate us, and the shaming and the throwing shoes, and
Right.
for me, that did not work. Now, it did get me to throw my skills at times because I was more afraid of my coach than doing my Takachev. But um, it put me in this fight or flight mode constantly, and I hated it. By the end of just that year, I absolutely hated gymnastics. And this is coming from your girl who devoted her
Yeah.
everything and to gym. So yeah, I didn't do well in that environment. And I know that from my experience now as one of the ambassadors for Italy's safeguarding, which is it's similar to a safe sport in the U.S. However, we have certain limitations, like we can't ban or even suspend coaches. Um, Something that we're actively
Yeah.
working towards, but we are aware of many environments still being this way, and
yeah,
trying to slowly shift and also educate, what are ways that we can motivate our gymnasts that's not throwing our wooden clogs at them. What are ways we can keep our
Yeah.
gymnasts healthy, which is not removing meals, or telling them they need to throw up to lose weight. That was something for me that was told to me, and again, my just kind of I think I was just naive, and also like naive, but also like I knew it was wrong, but also was so devoted to being an obedient athlete and listening to my coaches and trusting them and doing whatever it took, right, to be a champion, that I was like, well, if she needs me to lose weight and I need to go throw up, then I'm gonna do what coach says. I was that kind of gymnast, and that was definitely my weakness, and I learned a lot because I through that now understand, okay, after people can give me advice, and it's always up to me to say, is this good
Yeah.
for me or not, and what are my personal boundaries, which is something I did not know how to do. And I definitely think that a lot of that vulnerability in us, having such large dreams, was taken advantage of in many moments. And also there was a lack of
Yeah.
education. um
Can I ask about
yeah.
you went through something obviously extremely tough, but you're on the other side of it, and it seemed like experiencing that could completely break any person down. You know what I mean? Even the strongest athlete to experience that. Did you at what point in your career did you get past that? Did you get new coaching, different coaching? Because obviously you are just a model of just positive light as I just get to know you on this. Um, was there anything that changed for you gymnastically? Like, how did you get back to where you are now?
Yeah. Yeah. Great question. Yeah, so I definitely had to take some time away from the gym, and I really had to work through all of the heavy feelings and um, even I would say some traumas that were kind of felt like scars at the time. I felt so um, just heartbroken, I think, because I had always been in different environments, mainly where like gymnastics in the gym is where you make your best of friends, you learn to believe in yourself, you celebrate, like, yeah, you work hard, but I had never felt so ashamed of myself, and just like you said, kind of beaten down and broken down. And I actually met a life coach, and he really helped me. He really helped me learn how to process my emotions. I didn't even know what that was. What is feeling an emotion? And the technique that he teaches is somatic, and so it's really feeling it where it lives in your body, and doing a lot of somatic work really helped me just to process out all of those things that were stuck in me. um, and then my mom helped me with nutrition when I finally opened up to her about what was going on, and she helped me understand, hey, um, you need a lot of blueberries, you need
Yeah.
carbs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, you you do need to eat every day, so
You're your body.
um,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And I'm really grateful for her because she gave me this new
Yeah.
education on food that I didn't have really before. I was just kind of like eating the meals and not really. I didn't really have like a full education on it, and that helped me have confidence in why I should eat and eat a lot. And what else? You know, I held so much resentment, and at times it will still come up toward some of
Yeah.
those coaches. And I was in this very like blaming space of um, just like I felt very like it felt like unfair. And I have actually shifted, and it feels very freeing to not be in that space anymore, to a place of like, okay, um, if that happened to me, I come back to my faith, and I believe that a lot of that or all of it happened for me to take it upon myself to discover what for me is um, right when it comes to coaching, working with young children. What for me does it mean to become a champion? How can I become the best gymnast I can be? And if it's not the screaming and the yelling and all that environment, I need to remove myself from that environment. How can I teach and educate, you know, young gymnasts and even coaches that follow me? How can we motivate in a new way? How can we motivate instead of kind of tear down? Almost kind of like it reminds me of what you hear of like in soldiers. They kind of beat them down to build them up
Yeah.
in their own way, and it felt
Yeah.
very similar
Yeah.
to that. And what for me is right, and it's thanks to that experience that I was able to do my own self-discovery, and I interviewed so many awesome coaches, and just discussed with many Kim Semescal, Betty Okino, my coaches Arson and Lara
Yeah.
at GO, um, and incredible coaches who have insane results with building an athlete, and And also, they didn't need to do that to get them there.
Exactly.
Exactly.
You don't do.
And yeah, that was a big turning point.
You don't know it. Again, that was the gymnastics dark past is that mentality of, do what I say or get out. You know what I mean? So yeah, and that's something as a former athlete and a coach now, it's just too important for me every day is to be like, I want you guys smiling. I want you guys to enjoy the process, because too many athletes I know have walked away from the sport feeling such a disdain for the sport, because they put in so much effort, it took away their youth, and even with the success that they've experienced, they feel unsuccessful because of just that connection that they have to the sport. So I just think it's just so important that every coach understands that. I say it all the time. You're coaching another human. You know what I mean? You have to see a human on the other side of that. It's not just someone you're trying to get better. There's a human on the other side. What you say does matter. How they process what you're saying does matter. So always understand that. And that always just takes me back to just reminding myself on a consistent basis that there's a human on the other side of it. What you say does matter to them in the long run of their life. And to be a better positive influence on their life is just more important than any outcome that anyone can have.
Wow. Wow. That's beautiful. That's beautifully said. That really is. And, saying that positive impact it's something, and you guys, I'm sure, I don't know if you can relate, but those interactions you have with your coaches are interactions that you keep with you for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
For sure. It's like, when we generally at the end of the year, at least at Oklahoma, we did like a massive team meeting. And the thing is that we always just took some time to reflect. And it's just like, you're going to remember like winning or whatever you experience, but you're going to remember the moments in the gym the most. You're going to remember the times you travel the most. Like, some of my best moments in the sport that I look back on, it's not when I was most successful. It was the feeling that I got in the gym. It was those things that are going to stick with you more than any success that you experience on that singular moment. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's really knowing that is the most important part, not that one-off goal that you set for yourself, which again, you need that to have something to shoot for, but it's the journey that really is going to be what you remember the most in your career.
I totally agree. Yeah, the journey. I totally agree. Yeah. Yeah, it really will build you up in whatever way that be to the person you are then
Yeah.
when you step out of the gym too.
Yeah. We really appreciate you sharing that, Sophia. I want to pivot a little bit to your YouTube channel. It's very popular and what you do. It's darn right crazy some of the skills you do and you're trying. But can you just talk about the inspiration with your Sophialand, right? Is that correct? Sophialand?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Sure. So Sophialand is my Italian channel. That's where I started being a YouTuber. And I opened it right after MTV had ended our series. And I had gained from doing the show, I only had Instagram at the time. I had gained about 70,000 people following me. Um,
Wow.
and yeah, and my little sister at the time, she was only, I think, 10 or so. She was like, Soph, like, you should be a YouTuber now because I'm sure you have fans that want to keep following your life. And that was like the start of YouTube, where like YouTubers were like, maybe they still are. I don't even really care about it. They were like cringy. And so I was like, I don't be a YouTuber. Like, I'm so cringy. Like, and then I just decided to try it because I was like, well, I have loved having the opportunity to be a leader for younger gymnasts. And let's just try it. And I realized it was so much fun. I fell in love with it. It was a lot better being able to create my like my own and real storylines instead of just like not knowing what MTV was just gonna put on nationwide television and me be like, that did not happen. Like
That's true. Yeah.
yeah.
The power of editing. Oh my
Like
goodness.
that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like watching, like, oh my gosh, but that didn't happen. It's a good story though. It's a good storyline. But yeah, so I like having control of the content. I also just have fun with it. And actually, YouTube is what helped me kind of like what I don't know how to explain it. Opening a YouTube channel was what helped me have the realization of expression being more important than perfection. That's where I started that saying was through YouTube, actually.
Okay.
And because I was initially starting to try to make like perfect videos, and then I realized like that's not what YouTube is about. YouTube is about show your expressive side, show your crazy, your human side, your emotions, right?
Yeah.
Messy even, and obviously if I embrace the messy side and just posted all of it. And yeah, so it grew quite a bit. It became the biggest gymnastics channel in all of Italy. And after that, I decided I wanted to expand, and I had two options. I could either expand outside of gymnastics content wise and grow a following that way, or expand location wise by talking in my first language, which is English. I was really nervous to do that because I was like, I don't know if people are gonna like my videos in other places. Like maybe I just got lucky here and like people just like me here, and I don't know. So I put it off for a long time. I had been thinking about it for like a year, and I just was like, I was doubting myself, and I was kind of nervous to start from scratch because there is like such a vulnerability in like, especially when it's like public eye, right? Vulnerability in starting a new
Put yourself
project.
out there. Exactly.
Yes. Like, okay, here I am starting at zero. Seeing this is going to pop off or not, I don't know, but like here I am like, trying something. And I had this like moment. This is so cool. So I had this moment where I just like all of a sudden started to believe in it. Okay. I was like, I had this change, and I was like, why wouldn't this be entertaining? This is fun. At least it's entertaining for me. I crack up when I'm like editing my videos. I'm like, oh, it went on my face. Like that was hilarious. But I had this moment of like, yeah, this could be really inspiring. This why wouldn't it work? And as soon as I had that belief in me, literally a week later, guys, my first video went viral in the United States.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It wasn't like it went viral so then I believed. I believed in it, and then all of a sudden, viral. And then it was like another viral video, another viral. All of a sudden, I had this video get like 54 million views. And then another one got like 61 million views. Another one got 20 million. Yeah. And within 2 years, I had tripled my following. And I moved to California to also just kind of like be just like in my American like environment. I don't know. I just kind of I liked just like being back in America, making the English videos for some reason. I think it was just kind of a mental thing. And so yeah, and then and now it's just it keeps growing a ton, and I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that people think I'm funny and get inspired by my death loops and no.
I mean, how do you come up with some of your ideas? You know what I'm saying? Like it's just so creative and original, and it's like you wake up at night, you're like, hey, I gotta try this. Like, how does that? So creative.
Oh, thank you. Honestly, last night I was like binge watching old gymnastics videos, and I was like, oh, I gotta try all these. Like, I'm just like a huge gymnastics nerd, and so I'll just like nerd out and watch all these old videos. And I really like older gymnastics because a lot of this stuff.
So original.
Yes, it's so
original.
crazy.
And it just
yes.
and you know, obviously modern day gymnastics is super hard and dangerous, but old gymnastics was ridiculous as well. Like ridiculous. Oh my goodness. I was watching the video of you trying the round off back tuck, catch the bar. And I was watching this with my wife last night because my wife is also a gymnast and she's also has Italian heritage. So I know so much that you're speaking about. Um,
Nice.
and you're going, I'm like, dude, hit your head on the bar. And my wife is like, oh my God, her ponytail might get wrapped around the bar. And I'm just like, all those things are something that no gymnast would even in their right mind today. But yeah, let me just try a round off back tuck and try to grab the bar. And so you're just out there really chucking some of those skills on, not to mention some of those widths were closer. So some of the things that you're trying are even harder because the width of the bar are further. So just watching, I get nervous watching some of your videos. I'm like, oh my God, please be okay. Please be okay. Has there been any video or any skill you've done that you haven't actually put out there because it just did not go well, or you took such a bad spill, you're like, maybe I shouldn't show this? Anything like that? Or you put it all out?
Oh no. I put all out there.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
That's great.
I do. Because sometimes I think also like showing like that I don't figure it out, it also shows how hard the skill is or was.
Yeah.
and that's why I get inspired about doing those old skills too, is not only are they so unique and cool, but I have such a respect for the old gymnastics because plus they were doing these skills on a wrestling mat.
Nothing.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Nothing.
Oh yeah.
Nothing. No protection. They're just like yeeting up there on like mukinas, and like you fall, you have nothing to protect you even. It's insane. The courage and like I can't even wrap my mind around
you just the mere fact that they cooked up some of those skills, it's just like, what were you thinking? Like who was like coaches like you try this? And Jim's would be like, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yes, you will. I guess I will.
Exactly. Try to jump off this bar backwards blindly and just see if you can catch it.
You can catch the bar, you know, because it's like you have like the back tuck catch, then they wrap their hips and fly off. It's like, imagine the crashes on that. Imagine, because the places didn't have pits all the time. You know what I mean? It just, those are some very capable spotters, I would imagine.
Yeah, we hope that's true. That's a good point. I'm sure they had like spotters right there.
You would hope. You would hope.
They were still figuring it out back then too, so they didn't have it all put together either. We know that, right? So
yeah. Learning how to spot as the gymnast tries. Oh, that's crazy. Yeah. Yeah, I have such a respect for it. That's another reason that's actually the main reason I started doing these videos, is just out of like honoring our past gymnasts.
Yeah, paying homage for sure.
That's hilarious. I love it. Like once a month at our gym, we do Free Friday, and generally we do two skills that we have all the girls try, and they're generally always something that's completely old school that they would never even try, and half the time they're like, who even thinks of these skills? I'm like, dude, old school gymnastics, they had the most original skills of all time. And I really wish they would kind of find a way to bring originality back to gymnastics, because I think there's that aspect of play that if they had it, then there would be a little bit more play within the sport if they had originality still.
I love that. I agree. I want to add some wacky. I thought about adding that mount in. It's kind of sketchy because I'm only like a centimeter away from hitting my head every time I do it. But it would be really cool. And it would make it fun because it just breaks it out of what the trends are. And of course, not to say the trends are amazing, right? But yeah, it makes it more like almost like artistic and creative and playful in that way of like, let's just like spice it up.
Yeah.
So is that your key to getting over the fear because I get that asked a lot. How is Sophia not afraid of doing the skills that she's doing?
You are afraid though.
What is
I
that?
do want to say
Oh,
that
of
because
course,
some people are
right?
like, oh, you're not afraid. I'm like, you are afraid when you're doing this stuff. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm terrified. No, sometimes I'm like shaking. I'm just like, all right, let's end it. No,
Wow.
because I'm in that playful mode, I
Yeah.
I don't care. Like the fear
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
The fun trumps the fear. Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And that's kind of getting back to like the power and like literally like a frequency, and you can feel like you're like the fear's there, but I have more power in me because
Yeah.
I'm in joy, and like I'm in a place of joy and like just fun. And of course, you know, fear to like a certain level, like I mean, if it's unsafe, I'm gonna make sure it's
Yeah.
safe enough before I try it. Like I'm also very big on like I put a lot
Yeah.
of mats around. If I
Yeah.
need a spot, Coach Arson will come in. People love him. I joke, I'm like, Arson, you're the real star of my YouTube channel because he just has such a good personality, and he likes coming in and just like being silly and helping me with the tricks too. But no, like I make sure that I have, you know, my safety measures in
Yeah.
place, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
Ah, man. Yeah. You're making me want to think about it. I'm not going to, but you make me want to actually get out there and
Yeah,
start doing some stuff. But I'm not. I'm
you should try. No,
no.
you gotta do a
Just look at my
Corbett.
brother's face. My family has no desire to see me
No.
doing anything else. I've had a very very bad injury. We'll just keep it at that. A spinal
Oh,
injury.
okay.
So my
Oh,
family
okay.
is
Okay.
very, very happy that I do not put myself out there anymore. You see what I
Okay.
mean? He's like,
Understandable.
yes, I'd like to
Understandable.
hear this. I'd love to keep hearing it. But I do dabble. I have told my girls though that I am getting my wrist stronger because
Yeah.
in Australia they have a national club championship and they have a handstand competition after every session. And I told them this year I'm going to win every handstand
Oh,
competition. And now that I said it and put it
I
out there onto
love it.
ether out there, now I
There
have
you
no
go.
choice but to actually follow through and win. So
Oh man. You can so do it. You can do it. This is gonna be
Challenge
challenge
awesome.
accepted.
accepted. All right. Well,
Yeah.
that's better.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is awesome.
Oh, well, Mo has to do the Corbett flip then.
Well, you know what? I am probably dumb enough to try it. I did something the other day in the pit bar I shouldn't have done, but I was okay afterwards. But what is the Corbin? Is it Corbin?
Yeah. So yes. So you're standing on the high bar
Okay.
and you jump, you do a backflip, and then you recatch the bar. And
Okay.
it
So
became real.
It's
it's like a
almost like, yeah,
Kovacs
if
almost.
some coaches want to try to teach you the Kovacs catch, they'll try to have you do that. Yeah, but I wouldn't
Okay.
do that because that's a commitment. That's I'd rather do the skill over committing myself to jump and push my hips forward enough to be close enough to the bar. I'm okay.
Well, I'd be afraid I would just land on the bar. I would undercut it and
Oh,
not even.
100%.
Oh,
That is 100%
You know
what
what I'm
he would
saying?
do.
Like I kind of.
yeah.
100%.
Yeah, I did that on Beam because there's a
Okay.
Corbett on Beam, and that's exactly what I did. And all the comments were like, "Her poor ovaries, bro." Like,
Do you respect your hip bones?
yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Oh my
Oh, I love it. I love
gosh.
it.
This is good stuff, Sophia. I really appreciate it. I did want to before we kind of you know close out. I did want to just get back to the tour, and if you had maybe like one sentence or like a few words, like how would you describe your tour that people can expect when they attend?
Mm, okay. I didn't prep an elevator
I'm
pitch.
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay, I would say gymnastics, wild, iconic, and celebration.
I don't think you could have done any better if you spent more time to think about it.
No, I missed the most important thing. Fire within.
Boom. Fire within.
Fire from within. See, now I get it. Since we've gone through the whole episode, of with you. Now I get it. And do you want to talk about the pink party part of it? Because I'm looking into that too.
Sure. So we're doing a pink party. I love that you mentioned that. It's going to be so fun after the gymnastics gym part. And I don't want to give away too many spoilers, but we're going to do a bunch of just like fun activities at the party. It's kind of going to be like a little glam pink party, and we're gonna do, instead of a red carpet, we're gonna do a pink carpet, and we're gonna take professional photos together, and yeah, we're just gonna be like celeb flames, kind of. I don't know.
That sounds.
Yeah, and just also like I love getting to know the girls, because it's one thing coaching and like doing that, but when we get time afterwards to just kind of like joke around and talk and share stories and joke, I love that.
That's awesome. Did I hear you have a new Leo or something? Was I told this?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
please go into the Leo. We know
Okay.
gotta look fabulous
They love
looking,
Leos.
in doing your gymnastics. Let's go.
Oh my gosh. Do you guys want me to send you one? They're hot pink.
I won't wear it, but I do know plenty of people that will.
Yeah, so it is the official Fire Within Leo, and it's hot pink, which is my favorite color, and super cute. I had done different collabs with different leotard brands over in Italy over the years, and I loved those experiences. And I learned so much, and also I always wanted to have more space for my own creativity when it came to the design, as well as product production for events. Because I do a lot of events, and like as I told you guys before, I used to tour around Italy, and I need Leos to bring to the events, because that's usually when kids want them, is when they want them signed, and it's special, it's sentimental. And I had a really hard time having the product ready and the quantity needed for those events. So those two reasons combined, I decided to just do it all myself and sourced an awesome fabric company in Italy, and as well as the seamstress. She is wonderful. She's in Italy, and everything is sourced and made in Italy, and they're absolutely beautiful. They're everything I have always wanted to do, and I finally have like the freedom to just truly make it my design, and and have the preparation for events and whatnot. So I'm so grateful also because, it's not, to me, it's not just a Leo, but it's really the sentimental aspect of when you put it on, it's your reminder of, hey, your fire is always stronger than your fears. Let's go. Here's my fire within. It's kind of that centering moment when you put it on.
That's awesome. Everyone's going to feel like a superhero wearing your Leo.
I hope they do. I hope they feel so empowered when they put it on. It's kind of like a lucky, like your lucky charm. Like, did you guys ever have like a lucky, and it's like when I hold this like magic rock.
No. Randomly. Like sometimes you just, you pick up something maybe the day before a competition, and then all of a sudden it's in your bag. And then you do well. It's like, this is staying with me now. It's pretty pointless. It's a paper clip. But when I pick this up the next day, I had a great day. Paper clip's with me now. That's part of my life.
I know this paper clip is magic. Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I think this was a great show. Sophia, thanks for coming on. How can people find out more about your tour, the Leo, where can they go?
SophiaCampana.com, and then social media, so YouTube, Instagram. I post a lot on Instagram, so that would probably be the place to follow to get quickest updates.